Hello viewers, this is Kiran Shinde, Assistant Professor IICMR MC Department. Welcome back to another video lecture on concept of serializability. In my last video lecture, we have already discussed about the conflict serializability concept along with two examples. In this video lecture, we are going to talk on what is view serializability, and we will try to understand the same concept with an example. So let's start. So as I mentioned, first of all, we will try to understand what is the meaning of view serializability. So as the name suggests, here we are going to see, or here we are going to look at the way the transactions are getting executed in every schedule. And then we are going to compare these two schedules with respect to certain conditions. Let's understand. Two schedules S1 and S2 are said to be view equivalent if they satisfy all the following conditions. Now, what are these conditions? First condition, which is called as initial read. It means initial read of each data item in transactions must match in both the schedules. For example, if transaction T1 reads a data item X before transaction T2 in schedule S1, then in another schedule, which is S2, T1 only should read X before T2. That is called as initial read. What is the simple meaning out of it? Any data item which is read by certain transaction in one schedule at the beginning, in another schedule also, the same transaction should read the first value or the initial value of the same data item. Condition number 2, read versus initial read. Now, before we progress to the condition number 2, before we move ahead for the condition number 2, let us have a look at this particular point, read versus initial read. Now, it may happen that you may be confused by the term initial read. Here, initial read means the first read operation on a data item. For example, a data item X can be read multiple times in a schedule, but the first read operation on X is called as initial read. And this will be more clear once we'll get to an example. Condition number 2, which is called as final write. Now, what do you mean by this condition, or what exactly we are going to observe through this condition? Final write operations on each data item must match in both the schedules. Means a data item X is last written by transaction T1 in schedule S1. Then in S2 also, the last write operation on the same data item X should be performed by the transaction T1 only. That is called final write condition. And the last condition is called as update read. Now, what is the meaning of this condition? If in schedule S1, the transaction T1 is reading a data item which is updated by T2, then in schedule S2 also, T1 should read the value of that particular data item after the write operation of T2 on the same data item is performed. This is called as update read. Obviously, after reading these conditions, maybe at the first time you will find it a little tricky to understand. But when we will see the examples, here we are going to discuss two examples. At the time of examples, you will find it very easy to observe and predict whether two schedules are view equivalent to each other or not. Again, the same condition number 3 is explained with the example. In schedule S1, T1 performs a read operation on X. After the write operation on X by T2, then in S2, T1 should read the X after T2 performs write on X. Now let us try to see. And after checking all these three conditions, what exactly you are going to interpret? If a schedule is view equivalent to its serial schedule, then the given schedule is said to be view serializable. Means when you are given two schedules to compare and to check whether those schedules are view serializable or not, first of all, you need to scan those two schedules with respect to these three conditions. And first of all, you have to interpret whether these two schedules are view equivalent to each other or not. And when you come to this particular conclusion that these two schedules are view equivalent to each other, then we can say that those are view serializable schedules. So let's try to understand with an example. As I mentioned, the summary of these three conditions. Condition 1 and 2 ensure that each transaction reads the same value in both the schedules and therefore perform the same computation. Condition 3 focuses on, or it is coupled with condition 1 and 2, which ensures that both schedules result in the same final system state. Okay, so this is the summary of the two conditions or the three conditions. Now, let us try to see an example having two schedules S1 and S2. Suppose these are the two schedules. Now, what we will do, we will try to see how these two schedules are satisfying these three conditions or not. So the first condition is what? That is called as initial read. So let us scan through the first schedule, that is nothing but schedule 1. So in this particular schedule, if you look at data item A, which is read first by transaction T1. Okay, so this is the initial read happened with respect to data item A by transaction T1. Now, same data item we will check with schedule, second schedule, that is S2. If you see, the data item A is initially read by transaction T2 in schedule S2. Whereas, in order to satisfy this condition, what should happen? If T1 is reading the initial value of data item A in schedule S1, then in S2 also same transaction should read the initial value of the same data item. But here the first condition itself is failing. Why? Because here T2 is trying to read the initial value of data item A. Now let us cross check condition number 2. As per condition number 2, that is called as final write. Here in T1, if you see data item A in schedule S1, if you observe, data item A is finally written by transaction T2 and data item B is also finally written by transaction T2. Let us observe in S2. In S2, what is happening is the data item A is finally written by transaction T1 and data item B is also finally written by transaction T1. Again, this condition is also failing because in S1, T2 is doing the final write. In S2, T1 is doing the final write. Okay, and then we will check the condition number 3, that is called as, yes, it is again, we are checking what the state of the transaction, and that is nothing but our last condition, which is update read. Okay, before we jump into the update read, why I just went back, because I wanted to revisit this particular condition so that we can cross check. This condition says if in schedule S1 the transaction T1 is reading a data item which is updated by T2, then in schedule S2 also T1 should read the value which is updated by T2. Okay, so let us go back to our example. If you see schedule S1, okay, now here if you see data item A is modified by T1, okay, and after this modification transaction T2 is trying to read this particular updated value of data item A. Similar case for B. Here transaction T1 has modified data item B and then T2 is trying to read the updated value of data item B. Okay, but if you see in S2, here the value of data item A is modified by transaction T2 and then this updated value is read by transaction T1. And the similar case for data item B. Data item B is modified by T2 and it is read by T1. Again, this condition is also failing. So what we can say, S1 and S2 are not view equivalent, as in S1 the value of account A read by T2 was produced by T1, but in S2 value of account A read by T1 was produced by T2. Exactly, both are contradiction of each other. And hence we can say that here in this example, schedule S1 and schedule S2 are not use realizable schedules. Let's move ahead. If you see this particular example, now in this example, I have taken into account S1 and S3. Both are these two schedules. Again, try to cross check. In S1, initial read of data item A is done by transaction T1. In S3, initial read on data item A is also done by transaction 1. You can check with B also. Okay. Condition number 2, that is nothing but final write. Here, the transaction T1 is modifying the data item A. After that, T2 is reading it and modifying it. It means final write on data item A is done by T2. Final write on data item B is also done by T2. If you see schedule S3, final write on data item A is done by T2 only. And final write on data item B is also done by T2. It means second condition is also getting satisfied. Third condition, that is update read. If you see, data item A is modified by T1 and B is also modified by T1, and these updated values are read by transaction T2. In S3, if you see, data item A is finally updated by T2 here, and then it is, of course, here data item A is modified by T1, and then if you see, it is read by T2, right? And similarly, if you see the data item B, it is modified by T1 and then it is read by T2. So it means it is also satisfying our condition number 3, that is update read. And what is the conclusion? Hence, S1 and S3 are view equivalent to each other. Okay. Now, this is one more example. Actually, I have kept this particular example for your practice, but since this is video lecture, we will just discuss here only. Here also, if you observe these two schedules, or rather this S1 is absolutely not serial schedule if you observe, and this is completely a serial schedule. So we are comparing a non-serial schedule with serial one. And if we come to a conclusion that these are view equivalent to each other, then obviously these two schedules are going to produce a consistent result. And ultimately we can say that these are view serializable schedules. So let us quickly try to understand the first condition. Who is reading the data item X value initially here in S1? Of course, transaction 1, that is T1. In S2 also, the initial value of X is read by S2. I'm just taking into consideration only one data item here. You can cross check for Y also. Condition number 2, that is nothing but final write. Now, who is doing final write on data item X? Let us cross check. Here, data item X is modified. If you see in T2, here also data item X is modified. After this, data item X is not modified. It means T2 has done the final write operation on data item X. If you cross check in S2, obviously here, since it is a serial schedule, data item X is modified by transaction T2 finally here. So condition 2 is also getting satisfied. Let us cross check with condition number 3, that is update read. Now, after the data item X is modified, T2 is reading here the value of the updated data item X. Similarly, if you see here, after the data item X is modified by T1, this updated value is read by transaction T2 only. So all the 3 conditions are getting satisfied here. Hence, schedule S1 and S2 are view equivalent to each other, and that is why they are view serializable. Okay, so I hope you understood the conditions which we discussed here. And with these examples, 3 examples, you must have understood how to cross check whether the given schedules are view equivalent to each other or not. And finally, whether they are view serializable to each other or not. Thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned for my next videos. Thank you.